ladies and gentlemen, here we are with what will probably be, actually, it's going to be. Yeah, I'm calling it now. This is our last Halloween Ends. I almost said Halloween Kills. Jesus. Halloween Ends episode.
Yes.
Before we finally see the movie, and the next time we'll be talking about it, we probably will have been seeing it, maybe even right outside the theater. Just after seeing it, we'll give you our initial 5-minute quick, this is what we thought. But honestly, man, there's been some pictures, been some random little updates.
It's just every time we think we're done, we did our last update on Halloween Ends, they say, oh no, we've got more for you and you have to come back and talk about it.
Yeah, they're fucking with us.
Oh, big time. And like you said, man, this is our last update before Halloween Ends premieres this Friday in theaters and on Peacock. But in some areas, I hear people saying Thursday night too. That some people are going to see it Wednesday night,
midnight showings.
So, yeah. So hey, man, we're gonna talk about this stuff. We're gonna get the video out for you to see it, just in case you need to see some stuff that you haven't seen yet, or hear some news you haven't heard yet before you go into the big show. Mm-hmm. It's coming. It's almost here.
Days away now, less than a week.
It is hard to believe that we've been talking about this for several months, dude, and it's finally here.
Yeah,
come on.
I know,
man. It's nuts, man.
It's like we've practically built our entire channel on talking about this, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's true, man. So listen, I know a lot of this stuff will be old to some of you, but we still haven't covered it yet, because sometimes we don't get a chance to come on here, and as soon as it hits, we don't get a chance to cover stuff. Okay, so we're gonna throw it at you anyway, and we're gonna give you this update before it releases on Friday, because a lot of this stuff is cool. And I don't know if you even saw. I think I sent you a couple links for some of the stuff.
I have some pictures.
Yeah, there was so there was an NBC special, I think maybe a few days after we had done our final update on the final trailer, as we thought, right? So we got an interview with that with Jamie Lee Curtis, and she talks about the support of the fans over the 44 years. She talks about her career, and of course she plugs the movie. But what she also does is she treats us to a sneak peek of Halloween Ends. So again, like we did a few videos ago, we're just going to play all this for you at the very end of the video. At this point, it's not spoiling anything. Everybody's seen it by now. So we're going to put it all at the end of the video too for you guys to see. But in this sneak peek, we get a little bit, basically it's a whole ass other trailer that we thought wasn't coming because we already saw the final one, but we got another one. This is the final trailer, I guess you can call it. So we got a good look at our boy, Willie the Kid. He does some talking in this little sneak peek, and it's kind of cool there's something he says along the lines of what's going to get our boogeyman to come out. Mm-hmm. And he plays a song. Now, mind you, that could be filler. And I just thought about this last night. I think it'd be cool if he played "Don't Fear the Reaper" as a little nod to.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I think that'd be a cool way to do that. I hope that's what they do just for fun. We get some clips that we haven't seen before, and mixed in kind of with a lot of the stuff we've already seen. But I'll be honest with you, it's a cool ass trailer, final trailer, whatever you want to call it, and it gets you hyped for the movie. So NBC was cool to give us that little sneak peek. I thought it was fun, but I also found a James Jude Courtney interview. And the first thing he's asked by this dude is, will Halloween really end? He laughs and said that he can't answer that, but for him as playing the character, he's done. And it would be the last one, of course, through Blumhouse. So he answered it very smart.
He said that Blumhouse won't be, we're certain now Blumhouse won't be doing anymore.
No, it sounds like they're pretty. I think when anybody gives their answer so far, even her, that's pretty much what she was saying too. That this is the last of their movies, So, dude, who knows? You know what I mean? Yeah. Who knows? There was another one that I found. She was on some type of talk show. Jamie Lee Curtis was, and she talks about seeing the movie by herself in a theater. They set her up so she can watch it. Mm-hmm. But they put a guard in the theater with her so that she wouldn't pirate her own movie. And she was like upset about that, right?
That is crazy.
Yeah. So she said she had a volume control to where she could turn it up, turn it down. And there were times when she would like turn away from the screen, and like she said, but the funny thing was though, she got to watch the guard, and he was reacting to the movie like he was scared, and it was just funny. Like it was a pretty funny interview. Like she was, but she was like, they put a guard in the room with me so that I wouldn't pirate, and she had to like censor herself, but she was like, so I wouldn't pirate my own fucking movie. She was like, dude, it was funny. It was funny.
I think we now know who leaked the trailer last time. Then
I guess it was her. I guess so.
God,
or they think it was her. I guess we got another TV spot which I just randomly found last night, and I think this makes number like 500 of the TV spots.
It seems like it. My God, I still don't think I've seen all of them. At this point in time, I'm almost like I can't watch any more trailers. I'm
telling you, dude,
so much of it.
I'll say that this one was labeled as 19, but I'm pretty sure it's like 1900.
They're just randomly putting numbers on it now.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
It's 22.
Halloween Ends trailer 19-1, 19-2, 19-3. Like, yeah, there's
you could find all these trailers and piece them all together and get the whole movie at this point.
Honestly, yeah. But this one was kind of cool. It's short, sweet, to the point, just like every other TV spot. But it was kind of cool because they put like the context of the words on the screen. So like Willie the Kid was saying, hey, such and such, hey everybody, it's almost Halloween, and it's up on the screen and stuff, and it's like it's saying trick or treat, trick or treat. It was kind of cool, man. I like it. I thought it was cool. Of course, like I said, we'll put it at the end of the video, but decent little TV spot. Didn't ruin anything. I mean, we've already seen pretty much everything we're going to see at this point.
Right.
I did see somebody post as I was scrolling not TikTok, Facebook yesterday. And I immediately was like, I'm not reading the comments, because someone said if those are the real leaks for Halloween Ends, he put yikes. And I was like, nope, not looking at it. I'll fall into that trap, dude.
Yeah.
So I refused to look at that. I didn't want to see it. I don't care what's been leaked. We've been talking about it for months. I'm sure there's something out there. We know that.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's what we're going to get when we see the movie is another thing, but there's stuff out there.
For whatever reason, everybody wants to be a leaker anyways. So
yeah, absolutely, dude. I refuse to I even if I did read it, I wouldn't sit here and tell you what I saw, but I didn't want to. I was like, nope, keep scrolling. Don't want to see that.
Yeah,
that's one thing.
I'm the same way. I've been avoiding certain things.
Yeah.
Even now, will I consider going back and looking at some of that stuff after I've seen the movie?
Same here. Yep. yeah, because it would be cool to see what really was out there that we missed.
Yeah.
And it was cool to kind of come back and talk about it, and shit like that.
Absolutely.
So let's see. We got some more posters. I'm not sure if these are considered I don't know if some of these were made or what, but some of them are actually pretty badass. We got one of Michael and Laurie in mid-fight with that orange color. So it looks like he's got her, grabbed by the back of her head, and she's like that. But it's a cool ass looking poster. We got one of just Michael, which he's looking pretty tore up from his sewer time. He's all dirty and cobwebbed and everything else. We got one of the IMAX release, which have you ever seen anything in IMAX? Because I haven't.
Oh yeah. Yes. I've seen IMAX. Well, there's really big screens, and they kind of go into your peripheral a little bit. Peripheral.
So it kind of almost branches out like a
it's like an all immersive experience. The sound system is specific. It's like imagine going to everything's stadium seating and kind of
I always wondered
when I think of movies that you would, and again, I don't know, like a slasher movie probably wouldn't be I don't think it would be enhanced that much with IMAX, just because it's not that type of movie. Maybe I don't know, like an Avengers movie, or back in the day, Independence Day or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Or Twister, or like those types of movies. But it's the equivalent of you don't look at a drama that you want to see and go a slasher is a little different, but you know what I'm trying to say. There's not the special effects that you're going to get for certain other.
I got you.
But so it's an extra. I might be totally wrong, and somebody might correct me down in the comments.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything in IMAX that I know of. So
yeah.
And we got one last one. It's of Michael and Laurie with a knife between them. That's actually a really cool shot too. So I don't know where these ones are popping up from, but I want all of them. Like I want to frame them all and put them on my wall somewhere because they're badass looking. We got some new images. I think I sent you a few of these.
Well, the two you sent me last night are both really interesting.
Yeah, those are the last two on my list to cover for sure. Yeah. So we got one of Allison with a kind of concerned look on her face. Something's going down, and she's not too happy about it, it looks like. We have one of Michael on the stairs. It's not the one that we've normally seen. This one's a little more darker and creepier looking, actually.
You know, and it seems like they always have a Michael on the stairs shot.
I think it's just it's just that throwback, man. You know? Michael stabbing through the pillow. And it appears to be the redhead girl that he goes after in the when she sees the dead body floating in the pool. So he's stabbing the pillow, and there's shit flying everywhere and stuff. We got a nice little shot of that. We have a picture of Lindsay in the bar holding a tarot card. So maybe she's predicting that Michael's on his way back. Who knows? I don't know.
Lindsay getting into some weird witchcraft shit now.
I guess, man. I mean, she did have a fucked up life, I guess. So, you know.
She gets a pass. She gets a pass. And she was great. Right. Great in the last movie. I'm really glad.
She really was, yeah.
I do hope I really do hope that the earlier rumors of her getting an expanded role are true, because I feel like
I hope so too. Yeah, there's another shot too that you see her. Let's see, we have Laurie sitting at a table, looking really concerned, like hands over her mouth type of thing. Somebody had said on this certain picture, as she's writing her memoirs, she happens to go through old files, and she may see like a picture or two of like Linda or Annie or something. So that would actually be a nice little throwback.
Yeah.
I don't know if that really happens. That's just something I had read. But let's see. We got Laurie and Lindsay by a cop car. So Lindsay is obviously in another scene, not just holding tarot cards, I guess, you know. Laurie looking at herself in the mirror. That's kind of a cool picture, because then there's a cool shot of the pumpkin sitting on the mantle too.
Right.
And she has that Laurie look, you know. She's looking like, you know, something's going on. Like, I don't know if she's maybe there'll be like a little play over of what she said, you know, looking at yourself, whatever. But she's looking in the mirror, and it looks really interesting. Let's see. We got a picture of the redhead girl who's about to get it. She's on the phone trying to probably call 911, and she's about to die, dude. We know it's coming because you see Michael coming in the door in the background, and she's about to go. Let's see. We got so the two we were talking about released yesterday, and I just found them randomly. Corey looking to have some bully issues. What it looks like, and I'll post it, obviously.
It also kind of looks like he's being an asshole too, which seems to be on brand for Corey.
I got one. See, okay, so the reason why I say that it looked like he was being bullied, because the kid behind him kind of looks like, if I remember right, looks like he has something in his hand.
The kid behind him has something in his hand, and the kid in front of him is actually wearing one of those douchey little Letterman jackets.
Yeah.
No, nothing says I'm a bully asshole more than a douchey. Sorry for anybody that walks around wearing a douchey Letterman jacket, but you're really true, I mean, you are like typecasting yourself at that point. So I'm not saying you are a douchey bully. I'm just saying.
But you probably are.
But you most likely are.
Right. It's probably like that. It's like that dude Chris that comments on our stuff.
He wears he's 35 years old, and he still wears a Letterman jacket.
Yes. He's got that, like, I scored 4 touchdowns in
1982.
Yeah, it's okay, Al Bundy. We know it's okay. So here's why I think there's a bully issue, and I know they're two totally different.
That would explain why he goes psycho and tries to be Michael Myers.
Thank you. So here's what I'm thinking. But also, if you look at his hair, it looks a little bit different from. Do you remember the scene where they show him and he says, "Oh, you know, it's Halloween.
It's like all slick and nice, and
right. It looks different from that as opposed to what he looks like later on."
As a matter of fact, even the second picture you sent me where him and Laurie are talking, he looks more disheveled than what he does in the initial.
And that's what I'm saying. I wonder if this is how she found this kid and came across this kid. He was getting bullied and picked on, and she stepped up and maybe saved the kid.
Mm-hmm.
And because remember that one clip where he says, "Well, you brought me here."
Yeah.
Maybe she kind of took this kid in because she felt bad for him.
Damn it, Laurie, you're fucking yourself over.
Right. And this is where I'm kind of like wondering, because I told you last night, and I actually, it was funny, I was watching Christine, and it was just on AMC. So I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm paying attention a little bit, and I'm like, I see the Christine connection now. Corey is Arnie, and Michael is the car.
Yeah, definitely. And that's where it came from.
Corey becomes obsessed with this, and it changes him as a person.
Yeah. So, by the way, everybody can chill the fuck out about that now. Everybody calm down.
Michael's not going to possess him literally.
Right.
Michael's not going to start playing like old 50s rock songs when Corey comes in the room. Stuff. And like Lori's not going to start choking in the car, but still, that's where the connection is. Corey is Arnie and Michael is the car. That is your connection through Christine. And the kid becomes obsessed and it changes him, and just like Arnie did in Christine. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that out. Obviously, if you're smart enough, you can see what's happening here. I just never, to be honest with you, I hadn't seen Christine for a while. Obviously, I know the premise of the movie and everything, but to be sitting there watching it, I was like, oh, I get it now. I 100% get it now. This is exactly what's going to happen. This is why this is there. I get the reference now. So we're not, at first we were all worried about that. Like, what the hell does that mean? At the same time, just give it time. You'll get it, Obviously, I got a few things from the groups, man, because got to get the group stuff just because it's fun. So this one says, if Halloween ends does not end as it should, meaning I want to see the end of the boogeyman for good. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Then I'm erasing the new timeline from my existence and sticking to the franchise I like the way it was before.
Well, it's fine. Happy. I mean, didn't do that. Listen, the beauty of it.
We have talked about this before several times. This is a pick your own adventure type of film.
Yep.
The whole series, it goes so many different ways, 1 and 2. And then 1, 2018 kills and ends. And then you got 1, 2, H2O. And you got 4, 5, and 6, and Resurrection. And you can twist and turn and go back so many different times throughout this whole fucking thing that you can erase whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
If you love Rob Zombie's 2 movies, then forget about everything else, especially if you love number 2. Get the hell away from me. But if you love Rob Zombie's 2 movies and you don't like anything else, just erase everything else and enjoy Rob Zombie's movies. You're entitled to that. You do what you want. Everybody's entitled to one bad movie. It's Halloween 2. Rob Zombie. I'm just saying.
We're all entitled to one bad movie.
Yeah. Let's see. So I'm thinking Halloween Ends is going to be almost, if not as good as the original. What do you think, guys? I'm so excited. It's insane. Okay.
Did somebody suggest that it was going to be as good as the original?
Good. Wait, let me rephrase that. It's going to be almost, if not as good as the original. So this person got some pretty high hopes.
No, you're setting yourself up for supreme disappointment. Look, hey, I don't need it to be as good as the original, guys. You don't need it to be that good. It just needs to be, to close out this trilogy, we just need a solid, fun movie similar to what we got in 2018. Minus the Sartain fuckery. If you give me that, I will be happy. I will be totally happy, and I will say this trilogy was a success.
I feel like, and you know my feelings on this. I've said it numerous times. Halloween 78 can't be touched. It can't.
Right. It's the holy grail. It's the great. And I know a lot of people might disagree, but it was the greatest horror movie ever made.
Yes, and it is.
In my opinion.
It's not just because we're both Halloween fans. It's just how we feel, dude.
Yeah. I can give you objective reasons. Now, there are other great classic movies that influenced Halloween. No question about it.
Absolutely.
And you have to look at those movies with respect and say, okay, without those movies, we don't get Halloween. But the way Halloween transcended an entire decade of movies and essentially created the slasher. Granted, yes, Psycho exists. Right. I get all that. But when Black Christmas, when you really look at the birth of the slasher film and how we look at it today, Halloween is where it started.
And that's where Jason came from. That's where Freddy started from. Like all that stuff came from that.
Right. And Scream, again, all of those movies.
Yeah. And I'll say it 100 times, man. Does it have its issues in some parts? Like obviously there's little mess ups everywhere. Dude, it was 78.
Yeah. On 500, they did a hell of a lot more on what was it, 500 grand?
Oh,
Then Jeepers
and how
Creepers
much?
Reborn did $5
Thank
million.
you. Could you imagine if they had a $5 million budget in '78 to make Halloween?
$5 million.
They wouldn't even
Oh
need
my
it, but still
God.
though.
No,
But
they'd have
still
money
though.
left over.
Right.
$5 million, to put it into perspective, is half of the budget that they used for Halloween 2018. And look at the difference in quality. I've not even seen this movie, but I mean, but judging by what you're telling me, I'm pretty sure that I'll feel the same way about it. You know,
true, dude. I feel like a lot of people. Here's the difference in time. Like, okay, Halloween '78 came out in 1978, obviously. Here's the thing: people see that as, oh man, well that movie didn't have blood and it didn't have gore. It didn't need to. It told a story.
Yeah.
It told a very simple story.
That whole movie was nothing but suspense. It was and I think what's there is not there, you know.
Exactly. It made you think.
Yeah.
You know, it made you look behind your back, made you look in your back.
There is,
you know,
a lot of the older movies, a lot of the older horror movies and the scarier ones made back in the early days were the whole thought process was what your mind can visualize is much scarier than what we can show you on screen.
Absolutely.
And John Carpenter took that and employed that through as the primary focus in the primary philosophy in Halloween. And that's what made it so good. And the sequels got away from that, honestly. And that's why you don't have a sequel that matches up to the original, because it's not ever the same. No. You know.
And it's never going to be like, but I do feel, as much as I was iffy about it when we first initially heard about the whole thing, I will say I'll eat those words gladly, and I'll say that Blumhouse, in my opinion, has done a damn good job with this.
Yeah.
And I do have something I'll be reading to you in a minute too, but I got to tell you a few more of these. Halloween Ends needs to be the movie where Laurie Strode dies permanently. Tired of Laurie's ridiculous sense of importance, got to flip the page. Michael never was worried about her. Yet she made it her prerogative to get in his way.
Keith write that comment?
No.
He doesn't like Laurie at all.
No. Now in Halloween Ends, we get rid of this broad once and for all. # Team Mikey all the way. Okay. I don't know if this dude needs to hear this again, but I'd like to break it down for him. If go back and watch 2018 and realize that Laurie was chasing Michael. Michael was never after Laurie. Right. People got to get that. They got to get that in their head, man.
She never so Laurie's big mistake is not understanding what Michael is. Look at, I mean, and this is another example of the brilliance of John Carpenter in 1978. In 1978, the study of the psychopathic serial killer, the mind of a serial killer, was still very new. Yeah. But think about Michael Myers. Like, let's think of all the now granted he's still embellished for television and for movies, but think of all of his traits that line up with your most real, pronounced real life serial killers. You have, the killing at random. He kills at random. The returning to the scene of the crime. He picked Laurie because she reminded him of his sister, and he kept in. And not only that, he keeps going back to his house. He's reliving that fantasy of killing his sister over and over again. Yeah. Obviously, the dude gets some sort of sexual gratification from killing people. He watches women undress. He kills them after they've had sex. Like, obviously,
sometimes while they're doing
it. That is obviously that is a typical serial killer trait, the randomness that he does. No, of course he doesn't give a shit about Laurie because she got away, whatever. Every serial killer in history moves on. They just move on. Yep. They don't fixate or infatuate on one person for very long. They move on. And it's like in 1978, to me, like if you make a movie about that today, like, okay, yeah, you can see what they're doing. But in 1978, that's crazy that he hit so many marks on that.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, man, it used. Look at Jason's biggest thing: don't have sex ever.
Yeah,
at the cabin in the woods, anything.
And they took all that. They took all that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This person actually was excited about it. It says, anyone else super sad, or actually kind of sad, but still, anyone else super sad about the last Halloween? I feel like I'm going to cry when I watch it. dude, I'll be honest. It's a sad thing because we don't know when the next one will come. It's going to happen. We already know that.
It's
But
bittersweet.
we don't know when. Yeah, it's very
bitter,
sad to.
bittersweet because you're getting an end to a trilogy that you want to see, or you don't want to see it end, but you want to see it end because you want to see where they're going with it. You want to see the conclusion.
Yep.
But you want more Halloween movies. And the truth is this might be the last time that we get such a high profile movie in the franchise.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah. And I have to say this before I read this next one. I just want to say about James Dew Courtney. He's done a phenomenal job as Michael Myers, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man, he really moves up that list as top people that played this role.
Yeah.
And one of the few that's come back and played him now for a third time. How about that? Like George Wilbur played him twice.
Halloween was it 4 and 6? He played him, right?
Yeah. So actually, he takes over the lead of the first person to play him 3 times. As far as I know,
Wilbur's portrayal was interesting to me because when you look at him in Halloween 4, and then you look at him in Halloween 6, he was way more aggressive in Halloween 6.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think that was because he was under the control of Thorne though too at that time.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why. But no, he was way more aggressive. You're right. Big time. I mean, really look at the progression of Michael himself.
Yeah.
Halloween, he was, he did his thing. Halloween 2, when he walks into the hospital room and stabs the shit out what he thinks is Laurie, but it's the pillows.
Yeah.
That was pretty aggressive for him too. Like,
there's some anger showing through there.
He's like, I'm ready to kill this bitch. I'm done. Oh, it's a pillow. Fuck her. I'm gonna get her ass. So we got one more. This one says, I've been a fan since I was like 4 years old, but damn it, I have to be honest. Going off the trailers I've seen, I don't know, man. It seems far fetched. Like Michael actually has been hiding out in an underground tunnel. Man, it just seems super cheesy, and I don't like it at all. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. Was Michael supposed to stay home and chill out knowing he's about to get arrested, killed back in the institution, have to hang out with Sheriff Barker? Like, I'd leave too. I'd leave too.
Fuck that. I'd rather be in the sewer.
I'm telling you, dude. He's smart. I guarantee you he's still close to home in this sewer. He's still close to home. If the home is still there. Let's be honest, Laurie might have bought that motherfucker. He had it torn down. We don't know.
Yeah, burned down.
Honestly, I mean, we don't know that the.
If she did that, he might be after her now.
Well, that's true. He might turn around and be like, "Oh, this bitch took. Oh, hell no! I got
my fucking house. What the fuck?"
But I think
I finally chased those 2 assholes out of there, and you gotta go burn it down. I just wanted my house back.
But I also think we run into a theory though that I think in a way maybe she did buy it to make sure it stays empty.
I could see it
or something because remember how we talked about the fact that floor in that one house looked kind of dusty and
or maybe she buys it, tears it down, and puts a park there in like a memorial park honoring the victims. Boy, wouldn't that be a kicking in?
I mean, you don't think she would do a Michael Myers Memorial Park? That has a nice ring to it, man. That's nice.
This is all the times that Michael's been killed or thought we killed him. He's never been killed. He's never died.
It's the Nurse Marion Memorial Park now because she was hanging from.
Yeah, Marion Memorial, and you could put a statue of her hanging.
Oh no, not hanging. Dude.
I tell you, 2 times they did her dirty.
Shit.
Twice.
They really did, dude. Yeah,
they're gonna call her. They're gonna reboot this shit again, and they're gonna call her and be like, "Hey, she's like, no."
That poor woman. She. You know what though? I really liked her scene. I really liked that opening scene of H2O with her. I really enjoyed
it was good. It was very suspenseful cool. And everything. Much better than "This is for Dr. Loomis." Click.
Yeah. Well, her death was supposed to be like way more extensive. Like they were going to do a lot worse to the poor woman. But they ended up cutting it. Like they showed like a picture of like her. What do they call it? You know what I'm trying to say when they make like a mold of her face and stuff. She was about to get fucked up. So Michael did her a little bit undirty this time, but they did do her dirty twice. So you're not lying. They really did. Okay. I have this and I want to read it to you because a lot of people, we were just talking about like Halloween Kills and stuff too. So David Gordon Green defends Halloween Kills. And this is what he had to say. And I really like this. And I really want people to hear this because I feel like you're already killing on ends already, but listen to what this man had to say real quick. Kills was 100% the movie I wanted to make, and I'm extremely proud of its kind of insanity. Okay, that was the small part of it, but there's more. He says, to me, the psychology, the whole point of that movie is kind of unraveling things and not resolving things. There's a lot of people that when they see it, an ending like that, or that kind of unresolved chaos, they get frustrated as a moviegoer. And here's the best part. For me, that's the part of the fun. And when we get to come in and tidy it up with the last one. So any frustration that was expressed about the last one, I kind of just smile and say, hold tight. Here we come. I've trusted what they've done so far. So I like what he said right there. I feel like he's not going to fuck us, leave us hanging and say, okay, man, why the fuck did that? Right. They're going to come full circle and give us a whole story here. I really do feel like they're going to do that.
Like 2018 was a good movie. Good movie. It was a super solid Halloween sequel. Did it meet up to all of my hype? I mean, yes and no. I mean, there were things about it that I really, really liked. Things about it I wouldn't have done. Like, again, I keep going back to the Sartain thing. I hated that so much.
You know what? I think, now that we're talking about it again, I really think that was a way for us fans of Michael to really like hate that guy even more, because to us, you don't fuck with that mask. That's a secret thing. This dude put it on it, and like I was like, oh, dude. Yeah. And I think it was even sweeter for us all when we saw him get killed. That, oh yeah, you really deserve that because for that.
Oh yeah. My thing was it was a clear and obvious way to show us that Michael doesn't care about Laurie, but yet somehow we have to get them together. Again, if it were me writing the movie, I would have had just Laurie and Hawkins chasing him around Haddonfield all night, just like Dr. Loomis did with Brackett in 1978. That's what I would have done. Yeah. And then eventually they have a big showdown somewhere in Haddonfield, whether it be his house, whether it be at a school somewhere. I don't care where it is. That's what I would have done. I feel like it would have been a better movie, and everything else would have been fine.
Yeah.
I'm not a filmmaker. There's a reason they don't give me millions of dollars to make a movie. I think I could do better with $5 million than
they gave some poor idiot $5 million to make Jeepers Creepers Reborn. So I think a lot of that's in his pocket right now because dude, listen, they gave him $5 million. He spent $5.
It's going to be an investigation.
It's got to be. That dude is a fucking millionaire overnight. And they're like, how did you get all that money? Oh no, I'm good. The movie did really well. No, it didn't. Dude, that thing's probably got a 0 on the audience score. It goes to Redbox. It's going to be the only movie that's
you want to find out the Rotten Tomatoes score on that?
Please tell me, because I know it's got to be like negative 57 at least, because that is fucking god awful. Just god awful.
Jeepers Creepers. Oops.
The audience score has got to be bad. It's. I just know it's got to be. And if it isn't, it's the people that made the movie on there trying to boost their numbers. I can tell you right now, that shit's a lie.
So it looks like the audience score is 10%.
Oh God, dude. It should be 2%.
I mean, it should. I mean, maybe so, but that's still really bad.
So wait, so the audience score is 10%. What's the little popcorn, or what's the one? I know there's
tomato meter.
Yeah,
0%. Oh. That's out of 11 reviews. So 11, whatever their requirements are. 11 people, and then 500 plus, so over 500 ratings, give it a 10%.
Damn, dude.
Man,
I mean, listen, you might want to rethink what you just said, man, because $5 million, we can make something better than that. Just saying.
Some of the comments. Jeepers Creepers Reborn is neither skillful nor scary as a 2001 original. It's a cheap knockoff, inferior in every way. That's actually kind of nice compared to some of these other ones.
Man, and it's the truth.
Here's one. Jeepers is awful. Is this awful? Jeepers is this awful.
That's the new song for the movie.
Just another is this
movie was shitty.
Just another awful entry within a franchise that started out with so much fun. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, we're getting off track here because this was a Halloween video, and we can't stop talking about it. I have not even seen it yet.
Listen, with a 10% score, you might want it. No, you know what? You have to see it.
I have to watch it. Yeah, I gotta watch
that shit. You gotta sit through that shit.
All right, so moving forward, Halloween Kills. My view on Halloween Kills was, and I've said it many times before, there's too much going on there. I felt like it was disjointed.
There was a lot.
That being said, I loved so much about it. I loved the
only thing I really enjoyed that I think that a lot of people don't maybe take into consideration is look back at Halloween 78 and then Halloween 2, obviously that came out in 81, but still the same night.
Yeah.
So you got more of that same story, but what they did with Blumhouse was they showed us here's Laurie, here's Allison, here's Karen,
here's all these other people.
Here's Michael, but on the other side of town, here's that same night, here's Tommy and Lindsay and Mary.
See what else is going on.
Right. And then they brought everybody together basically.
Yeah.
So I kind of enjoyed the fact that you still got more, as they called it in the original, more of the same night, you know. You still got that, but you also got all these other people that were still in that town doing something completely different, but still on the same length of, hey man, this is for Laurie wherever she's at, and like they're celebrating her still in themselves. And
little do they know.
And then everything got brought together as soon as they saw that Michael had escaped, and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do kind of like that. And there was a lot.
Oh, yeah. I think my biggest issue is, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like.
I don't know.
I mean, it's just, I felt like watching it, it was hard to follow. We're bouncing around from story to story. I got to a point where I actually was confused in terms of what was going on. Like, I didn't even know what was happening. And that shouldn't happen in a horror movie. That being said,
right,
like it all does tie together. We all know there was a story there. There's this. Yeah. I mean, it was a lot, because literally, I always say you've had 3 stories going on at once. You had Michael going out doing his thing. You had the mom going out doing their thing, and now you have Laurie and Allison and everybody who had survived this horrible night already in the hospital. And they're figuring out exactly what. Now, the things I really appreciate were them basically retconning Hawkins' death because he should have been dead. I'll excuse it because he was such a great character, and that's them looking back and saying we made a mistake killing that character. I would actually like to see them do the same thing with the one podcaster, Aaron. I'd like to see him survive because I thought like there was a lot of potential there.
Yeah,
with him. The girl, not so much, but him. Him, I would like to see them, and I know a lot of people do. I would like, and I know that they never mentioned him in 28 in Kills, but
she fucked up already, dude. You took a shit in a horror movie, and she didn't wipe her ass either, so you're fucked.
Yeah, your ass stinks now. I mean, you got to clean your asshole.
You die with a dirty asshole, man. That's all.
Die with a dirty asshole.
Yep.
I mean, Jesus.
And some teeth on the floor. Just saying.
They're gonna think,
teeth and asshole everywhere, man. Teeth and asshole.
This is the quality of content you can expect every week.
Teeth and asshole. Hashtag teeth and asshole. Just saying.
Toilet hygiene is important, guys.
It is. It is.
You don't want a dirty ass.
No.
It's uncomfortable.
Really it is. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a shitty way to die.
It really is. Think about all the people on Friday the 13th. And listen, man, I always said it would have changed the whole course of any movie,
man.
If you would have been taking a shit and you'd have heard that noise and you'd have said, "Oh wait, let me get up and let me wipe my ass first."
Yeah.
Jason would have turned around and walked away. He'd been like, "Oh, I can't because you wiped your ass. I gotta go." He turned around and walked away, dude. Yeah. It would throw him off completely because you took time to wipe your dirty ass.
Yeah.
But you know what they do? They hear a noise, they get up, just taking the shit, and they just pull their pants right up, and then you're dead. You're dead, dude. You're dead. If you take
literally like I know, and like as a viewer, you watch that, and you're like, you still have shit in your asshole.
Yeah, I mean, granted, you're about to die in about 2 seconds.
I mean, really
fucked up death, but
die with a clean ass. Have a little bit of dignity.
Right, you could have died with a clean ass and some clean draws, and you'd been good. You'd have felt better about yourself in the afterlife, you know.
Yeah.
Now you went to heaven with a dirty ass and dirty underwear, and they're like, we don't even want to let you in because you fucking stink. And just saying,
you smell like shit.
Right. This is why you know what? You ever wonder? Okay, no one's ever wondered this, but I'm going to tell you the story. This is why they were scared, and Alan can attest to this. This is why they were scared to give me a microphone on wrestling shows sometimes, because you never know what the fuck I'm going to say.
It is true.
It's legit, man.
It is true. It is true.
never know what's going to come out, man.
Yeah, I know. And
just saying.
It was always a good. I'm just telling you, if I ever find myself in a position where I'm running my own show someday, you're getting a mic. I'm giving you the mic and saying, go out there and get it off your chest.
Well,
you have my permission.
Man, yeah.
Not that I'm about to be running shows anytime soon, but just so you know, if it ever happens, you can look forward to that. All these people can look forward to that too.
I think they'd stay home.
Fuck them, let them stay home. It's not safe anyways.
It's not. Yes.
But I mean, you know, yeah, give the guy a chance. Nothing's been so terrible in this trilogy that makes me want to not watch the next movie. I mean, my wife didn't really like the first two movies that much, and she's still excited to see the last one. She liked 18 more than she liked this one. You know,
I mean, hey, man, I feel
she's a tough sell on slashers, anyways.
Hypothetically speaking, Halloween Ends is obviously what they're calling it. I want to see how it ends. I want to see how their version ends. I want to see what they have in store for us. Yeah. Who knows, man? We don't know what's going to happen unless you've read the spoilers or what have you. We've talked pretty much every theory and scenario completely possible with this movie. And now it's time to just go see it and see what they're going to give us. That's the most exciting part for me, because regardless, like you said, even if you didn't like 18, even if you were iffy on kills, if you loved 18 and were still iffy on kills, you still got to go in full ready to go see how it's going to end, man, because that's the thing.
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
like I said, the problem, like, I think too many people went into these movies expecting that they were going to love every single little bit of it.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a ridiculous expectation to begin with, starting off the bat. You know, so I mean, you just got to look at it as, you know, these are still really good sequels compared to what we've ever gotten in the past.
Oh, yeah, I agree 100%. They've done a really the attention to detail is what sold it for me.
Oh yeah,
every little piece of,
especially when you look at those flashbacks.
Yeah, from the rope to the
the dog,
the hole in the neck to just every little thing and attention to detail that you were worried about when you heard certain people were involved, but then you saw it and you were like, holy shit, these guys really put their work in.
Yeah, they did their homework.
And it made you appreciate them more, even if you don't like them.
Yeah,
I don't like Danny McBride, but I appreciate the fact that he took time to put effort into what he was doing.
Right.
So there you go. You know what I mean?
And it wasn't done cheaply either.
No, it was not.
It was quite obvious they had more than a $500 million budget, or $5 million budget rather.
And they didn't just use $5 of it, so or 5 cents.
The Myers house wasn't green screened.
No, it was a studio, but it sure hell wasn't green screened. All right, so it's sad to say, man, but the next time that we'll be talking Halloween Ends will be our immediate. Well, I think it's either going to be our immediate reviews, and then we're really going to sit and like really deep dive into all of them.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, we will have seen the movie. And by the way, I'm just going to blow through a couple comments real quick because this is it. 3 hours ago, 1986. Cochran says, guys, stop going to work and stop spending time with your families. We need more content. You know, that's a good plan. Let's just
we'll be sitting here like dude from Clockwork Orange eyes. I'll be like, okay, we're good. We're awake. We're good.
Dude, I'd sit down here all day and do this. I really wish that this is, you know, we could do more. I mean, it does suck whenever there's a lull in between. Like I feel it. I feel like, you know, but
we still get it out there. We still have fun with it.
Yeah, and nonetheless, you know, we appreciate the.
In some cases, the news may be old to you that we're covering at the time, but at the same time, we kind of put our own little twist on it too, though.
Yeah, and it's all about the discussion and the conversation. Like we're just talking about it. Right. Paul, holy cow, this is a long.
Oh. So maybe we'll just skip that one. Or?
Yeah, that Paul Vasquez. I need to read your comment, but I appreciate the length. I like this. Looks like I could tell it looks like a really good comment. But it's quite long, so we'll skip on to.
I tell you what, I will hop on there and read it myself too,
and then respond. I'll do this. Yeah, I'll do the same thing. I'm not discouraging anybody from leaving long comments.
Absolutely.
but I feel like the average viewer has a shorter attention span than that. So
it's all right.
Andromeda 1741 says, I love the idea of Michael making a connection with someone, having a friend. I'm on board. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd go so far as to say Corey will be his friend, but there's definitely the potential for something there, a much more friendly relationship than he's had with aside from maybe Loomis. Like, I always felt like Michael...
They had a love-hate relationship.
I feel like Michael Michael looked at Loomis as from a standpoint of, I respect him as a worthy adversary type.
Yeah,
absolutely. There were so many opportunities for Michael to kill Loomis, and he never took them.
I think, I think deep down, Loomis cared for Michael as a patient and as a person enough to try to help him as long as he did. You know what I mean? Like, in the same respect you said too. Yeah, he could have. Yeah, he shot him. Yeah, he beat the shit out of him with a board and and all this stuff.
Right.
But I also think
he was doing that in a way to protect other people too.
Right. And he was trying to stop him, but at the same time, I think he did care for him as a patient and a person.
Yeah, and I think the speech that he gave in Halloween 5 when he's saying you can't, it's going to kill you, it's going to tear you, you can't do this forever. I think that was a heartfelt, like, this is going to eat you alive, you have to resolve this, you can't keep doing this. This is like his way of understanding, like, I understand that you're going through some kind of pain and you have to end it somehow. Like, I get that. Like, so I think Loomis,
he was the only person that truly, like, knew and saw everything about him. Like,
and understood him and what he was and who he was. Yeah.
Yep. So, like you said, man, as much as they say he tried to kill him and stuff, he was trying to help him in the same respect too.
Absolutely.
And
I think it got to a point where Loomis felt like killing him is the only way to help him.
Yeah. Let's be honest. He went above and beyond the Dr. Call of Duty because he wasn't getting paid to go out there and try to kill Mike Myers
and put his own ass at risk.
Right, like that dude wasn't even. He was like, "Listen, I'm not getting extra paychecks for this shit. Like, fuck." That was all out of love, man. Like, I got to go do this shit.
Michael Evans says, I can't decide if the shorter runtime, people had said previously this year, a cut of it was 125 minutes, and now it's 111 minutes, which is 1 hour, 45 minutes of actual film. At the end of the day, we just need to go see it, and at this point, then make our assessments. I mean, hell, man, that's what we've been preaching from day one. Go see the movie and decide for yourself.
I saw when I looked it up for the theater, an hour and 51 minutes. That's what I keep seeing.
Let's do it. Hour 51 minutes, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's what I keep seeing when I look it up.
Michael also says, like other people in this thread, I hope the twist doesn't ruin the trilogy. I'm excited like you guys are. I already booked to watch this 3 times with my friends, once on IMAX. Let's do this.
Nice.
Let us know if the IMAX experience is significantly different, because I would like to know.
Yeah, I would too.
For this movie, would you when doing it all again, if you had the choice, would you do IMAX again? I'm interested to hear what you have to say about that.
Same here, because I've never seen one like that, so I'd like to know too.
Right. Clint Barnum says, so Jamie Lee Curtis and others say it'll piss a lot of people off, so I'm throwing out there, maybe it turns out it's always been one big dream. Yeah, we've talked about that before. I think at this point it's not going to end like that. That being said, I honestly wouldn't be that pissed off about that. Because all you're doing is taking it back to the original. In a way, what I mean?
You're basically going back to the roots in a way. Yeah.
So,
you're right.
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't think it would. I mean, I mean, that was the same theory of The Walking Dead, that Rick was going to wake up and it was all going to be a dream in the hospital.
Yeah. Which I trying desperately to finish that.
I know. I'm so far behind.
I watched the first one in the final episodes. I haven't watched the second one from last night yet.
We'll get there, guys. We owe you. We've done literally no Walking Dead commentary on the show, so we owe you like a huge deep dive into the whole series.
Oh yeah. And we're gonna explore all kind of shit here, and wait till you hear our rant about Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Not just what we did here. There's a whole nother one. Just saying. We're gonna post it too.
We're going to. Oh no, we're going to. And then I don't know if that'll be the last of it, because I still have to see it.
Well, long story short, it was funny because like we were not recording.
We were just ranting. Like he was telling me about it.
And Alan's like, I'm recording this, and we did, and it just whatever came out, and we're just gonna post it because
fuck it. So more content is always a good thing.
That's right.
All right, Million Ideas says that trailer's not new though, and you did respond to this. I did a reaction for it a few days ago. My take on the stream. I didn't know. I mean, I think you could post links to your stuff, guys. If you got something that you've done, post a link to it. We're not going to be shitty about it.
No, post it up.
The guy complaining about the new trailer is the poster child for entitled fans. The Corey on Chris. He's talking about Chris.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
The Corey on the bus crash angle won't work. For one, if he was an escape patient, he would be back in the asylum, not babysitting a kid a year later. Also, Barker and Hawkins had most of the escape patients accounted for in 2018, and Michael and Trevoli were left. That could be true. I don't remember. I don't remember for sure, and that's why I wasn't 100% sure if that would be.
Listen, I thought it was kind of a cool theory, though, man. You know what I mean? I feel like there's always a way around something. You know,
true. They could.
If you want a story to work in any way, there's always a way around something. You know?
Yes. Andromeda says this is okay. So this is the guy that made. No, it's not. That we've heard from them earlier. Okay, he says, "Love the discussion. I will be back to say more later. I got to go to work on something. But what do you think of this? I've been reading Taking Shape 2 and noticed that in this trilogy, they use ideas from the unmade films. In one of these unmade films, Michael had a copycat who turned out to be Michael's son from when he raped a nurse while in the sanitarium. Could be why Laurie sees things in Corey that she saw in Michael. Also, I think David Gordon Green said Kills was like The Empire Strikes Back. And in the third film, don't we find out Darth Vader is someone's father? Also explains why Michael reacts to Corey and the way he does. Even if Michael doesn't know who he is, Michael feels a connection. It would be wild, but it could be. They just put out another trailer. Okay. You know what? Aside from the initial craziness of it's Michael's son going out and killing people, let's not forget that it wouldn't be the craziest thing they've ever done.
No,
including true. Michael impregnating Jamie in the Thorn trilogy.
That's very true.
I don't think it's an insane theory, and I'm going to put it in the column of things that I wouldn't be pissed off about.
So, okay, I have it planted in my head now that when Michael grabs Corey by the throat, right, and we see him like in the cobwebs, we're gonna hear the breathing from Michael, and he's gonna say, "Corey, I'm your father," and then there you go. That sounded more like Kane, but still, you get my point of view.
I am your father. I'm doing 1998 Kane when he, for whatever reason, used the thing. Like, what the fuck? Why? Why did you do that? I love that era of wrestling. It's my favorite era of wrestling. Don't get me wrong.
This stuff is not thought out.
But when you rewatch some of it, you're like, what the fuck? Like 12-year-old me was like, it's cool as hell. But now I watch, I'm like, that's fucking dumb. Why'd they do that?
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Well, man, it's been one hell of a run talking about Halloween Ends, dude.
It has.
I mean, we're not done obviously talking about it as far as once we see it, but
no, we have
spent a lot of time talking about this movie. So many different videos, so many different theories and ideas.
Listen. The beauty of this is we could talk about Halloween forever, and we will. It's just going to be a little bit different. I know we've wanted to do some review stuff. We want to get on with the ATG and AT guys.
Yes.
And I got to get in touch with them, and we got to figure out what works, because I feel like the four of us could have such a really cool conversation about what we thought about this trilogy, and we got to do the top. There's so many things. I mean,
we still got to do our top movies for October too. Hopefully,
top movies for October. Yeah. I know. I can't believe what is it? October 10th already.
The 10th already. Yeah.
I got a lot more movies to watch too. So, I saw a few things. So, we'll talk about some of that. I know that we're kind of coming up on it right now, so we don't have a whole lot of time here. But,
right.
But yeah, man, it's bittersweet. But I am also so excited to sit here and talk about this movie, knowing that we've seen it now and finally grasping and going back through and revisiting some of the theories and everything else. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to have a lot to say.
Hell yeah. I agree too, man. Well, Sally, with that said, it's time to drop the knowledge for you. I want you to follow us on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a share, but most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we don't get paid for this. We're just having fun, but still, we want you to subscribe, enjoy the channel. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm saying that right. And most importantly, jump on Reddit with us and continue this discussion, because we'll still go over there and trash Jeepers Creepers Reborn if you want to talk about that too. So yeah, come on over and talk with us.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to go on there right now.
He's going to make a post and say Jeepers Creepers Reborn sucks. And
that's exactly what I'm going to do. So horror guys. By the way, I think we have like
you get some more followers?
We have 8 members as of now.
Holy shit, we're coming back. We're moving on up, man.
Jeepers Creepers Reborn sucks.
Let's talk about
it. Discuss. So there it is.
Oh man, come talk to us about that. But with that said, though, we hope you guys go and enjoy Halloween Ends. We know we're looking forward to it.
Ducks sucks, not ducks.
I mean, that's
correct.
They censored you. Jeepers Creepers Reborn ducks.
We got it now. Here we go.
That's too, but it's true too.
I can't see it. I mean, I like ducks though. Ducks are cool animals.
I mean, ducks are better than what the fuck I watched with that movie. Go watch Halloween Ends. Enjoy it. Don't go in expecting crazy, stupid stuff. Just have fun with it, man. Enjoy the movie.
Go for the ride.
Last one in the Blumhouse trilogy, and just come back to YouTube and talk about it, because we know there's going to be a ton of different videos. But we're gonna do the same thing, but ours will be different from other people's too, because we're just us, you know.
And the next time you see these 2 beautiful mugs, we will have seen the movie, unless something insane happens between now and Friday. But I got to work for the next 3 days. As much as I like 1986 Cochrane's suggestion of not doing that anymore, let's just no craziness. But I mean, if some crazy shit happens, we'll be here.
We'll be here. Yes.
All right, guys. We love every single one of you. Subscribe, join the discussion, go to Reddit. Who's going to be number 9? Who's going to be number 10? That's what I want to know.
That's right. Who's the 10th subscriber? Later, guys.
See y'all later.
There's just no horror without Halloween, specifically the 1978 film in the franchise that's followed. For over 4 decades, Laurie Strode has been an icon to all of us who love movies that make us scream. And bringing that character to life the whole way through has been none other than the wonderful and incredible Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee's going to join us in just a few minutes for a final word from our final girl. But first, let's take a look back at her journey that began over 40 years ago.
She gave it all. Her heart, her soul, her blood. But that bubble burst because Michael comes back.
You came here to kill me, so do it.
Jamie Lee Curtis defines the Halloween franchise. She's also the muse of all of the writers. We brainstorm ideas, keep her very closely involved.
Anything that's gonna look raw and brutal.
As long as it doesn't look like a movie fight, I will be happy.
These are it.
She brings 100%, from a fight scene to a dramatic scene to a scream scene.
I remember exactly how I felt when I was 19 years old, going like, I've never screamed once in my life.
No, I'm good. Let's go get it.
Having her here as an icon is one thing, but then having her here as a support and a set den mother.
I'm gonna clean my glasses with your shirt.
What, David? What?
I loved being a member of a crowd. Love it. That sort of deep companionship and friendship, it feels very special to me.
People are sharing lots of information with me today.
It will be difficult to say goodbye to Laurie Strode.
It's her legacy, and it's now part of ours. Jamie Lee Curtis of Halloween.
When David called me, I immediately said yes. But what I didn't really know was what it was going to feel like.
I'll miss you, and I thank you so much for your support. You've been freaking incredible for people.
It's been an emotional movie for me, to be honest.
Thank you.
So it's hard to put into words what your 44 years of love and support has meant to me. I was 19 years old when John Carpenter and the late, great Deborah Hill cast me in Halloween in 1978. The film gave me an opening into a career that I never expected, and each movie and work experience led to another, and the beautiful flow and creativity and community that has now been my career. I've worked with so many talented directors and actors and fabulous crews of technicians, and artists, and creative people who love the daily grind of making movies. And with you, the audiences, I've had such a bond. We've cried together, we've laughed together, we've screamed together, and we've had experiences that only horror movies can give you. Horror films allow you to confront what you can't control, and they are cathartic and transformative. And so now I say goodbye, and thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you who has carried Laurie Strode as a sister, a daughter, and a friend. Halloween Ends, the conclusion of David Gordon Green's magnificent trilogy, arrives in theaters and streams exclusively on Peacock on October 14th. And tonight, I'm thrilled to share a sneak peek with you. Now, I'm gonna let the 44 years of movies be my lasting statement, and let this film be my final girl, final action. But before I do, I just want to say again, thank you, and happy Halloween, everyone.
It is Halloween. Can you believe it? What's gonna get our moms out? Give us something to scream about. It's time to lock your doors, grab your knife for the fight. Where are you? Huh? You ready in case the boogeyman decides to come out and play?
Michael is back, and he's more dangerous. He's been watching me, just like the first time.
What are you gonna do when Michael comes back for you? Because he is coming.
I know you're here. Come and get me. Stop him.
What, are you insane? You're not gonna rest until you finish it, or until everybody else is dead.
I got you, you psycho!
No more waiting. No more running.
You started me!
And tonight, I will finish it.
Will Halloween really end?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I can't say, but I can say for me, it's the end.
It's the end,
yeah. Jamie has said the same thing, that, you know, for us, it's, I think the culmination of these three films has been so special, working with the same people, David Gordon Green and Christopher Nelson and, you know, Andy Matichak and all these wonderful people. It's so rare you get to do that. So I think we need to end on a high note for us.
Talk a little bit about filming this movie. The little stuff that you did see, did you like?
Oh, absolutely. I saw it in pieces, and I saw just about everything that I did. It's intense. And in fact, the final scene, the finale between Jamie and I, when we were getting ready to shoot, before we shot one single frame, we stepped off to the side and we talked about it. And we had tears rolling down our cheeks. Well, when I was in the editing bay, the exact same thing happened. My partner Sarah and I were in the room sitting behind Tim. And after he ran it, he turned around and we were both had tears running down our cheeks. And he went, "That's exactly what I want to to see.
For a lot of fans, it's hard to say goodbye to anything because it's what keeps us going. There's really something special about these three films. This trilogy was special.
Oh, it's absolutely. And I think a lot has to do with David Gordon Green and Danny McBride. I think they've done a masterful job in these three films.
But I had to see the movie. You know, I'm about to go out around the world and promote it. And I was like, I gotta see the movie. So they screened it for me by myself in a theater. But I watched it in an empty theater, but I had the volume control. So I was groovy. All the talking, great. The minute the music comes up and the thing, I'm turning it down to 0, and I turn away. But, swear to God, they insisted on having a guard in the room so that I wouldn't pirate my own. And I'm telling you, I was like, wait, what? And the guy's sitting in the back. So my entire movie, I turned the volume down, I'd turn my head like this and go like this, but I got to listen to him. And he'd be like this, oh no, oh no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, really? I'm going to pirate my own movie.
Yeah. But I'm
Sell it to China.
Violent. Brutal. Fans are going to lose their fucking minds. Some say I'm the hero, and others say I provoked him. The 2018 movie and kills were about a woman who was prepared for Michael every day of her life. This is a movie where she's actually trying to move on. I've said goodbye to my boogeyman. New beginnings lay ahead. And then Michael comes back. This time, he's more dangerous. There is a battle. You came here to kill me, so do it. A final reckoning. It's crazy intense.
It is Halloween. What's gonna get our moms out? Give us something to scream about.
Time to put the boogeyman to bed.
Halloween ends. Rated R.
Fans, check out and follow the Horror Guys. You can find them on Facebook, facebook.com/The Horror Guys. On Twitter, Horror Guys 21, that's HORRORGUYS 21. On YouTube, The Horror Guys. And also on Spotify, search for The Horror Guys.